Hello everyone, it's Andy's Free Guitar Charts videos here, and looks like we've got ourselves quite a chart here. We're going to be talking about it. It's chart 547. It's the latest and the greatest. Root Master Blues, RKB Master Key, that's Root Key of the Blues Master Key. These titles that I give the keys that we're playing in are loosely fit at first. So you could see that this is the chart we'll be talking about today, but I had to refine the chart about 5 times until I arrived at the perfect situation. Here I added the modals because just playing the blues without the modals, without the minor chords and everything, seemed pretty dry. And so you can see it all started back about 5 charts ago. One redeeming quality of these earlier charts. So here we only had the root key, the blues, and the blues master key, and the blues magic. I call it the diatonic key now. The BMD, blues magic diatonic. That means we play a diatonic scale. It's good for solos and things like that, although pentatonic scales are great for solos too. But you can kind of weave your way into the modes with a solo that's diatonic as opposed to a solo that's pentatonic. If you like these videos, you want to learn how to play guitar like the real deal people play guitar. It's not a classical music reading kind of approach to guitar. I've always learned it straight off the fretboard and of course with my diagrams here. So we have the basic cage system here. This one particularly starts with the E system. Now this is just the bottom string, which is the low bass string. In my guitar it starts on C. Your guitar would start on E. Call E that root right there, but that's not a note, that's a string shape. The 7 root 2 note sequence is a string shape, the E string shape. So this helps me just visualize fretboard shape builder cage pentatonic. Right there, you've got the bottom string of the E pentatonic now. So we're not going to be playing like root 2, 3, 4. We're just going to be playing root 2, 3, 5, 6 root. So here's root 2, okay, in the E shape, and then we have 2, 3. We're going to share the 2 for the D shape, 3, 5, sharing the 3 for the C shape, which is the long, 5, 6, okay, sharing the 5 for the A shape. This is your short A shape, and the 6, 7 for the G shape, and then the root shape. So if we were to, let's say, start on, I don't know, start on this E here where your E is, then the root shape would be root 2, and the entire shape. Let's just do the bottom string first. Root 2 for the E shape, the D shape, the C shape, the A shape bottom string, right there, the minor third for the 6 to root for the G shape, and then back up to the E shape. So when we want to play the whole thing, it would be the E shape down here would be root 2, 3, 5, 6, root 2, 3, 5, 6, root 2. The D shape would be 2, 3, 5, 6, root 2, 3, 5, 6, root 2, 2, 3. Sorry. I'm doing this in E. The C shape would be, so we've got the E shape now. See, I'm unfamiliar with this, but it's good. We've got the E shape, the D shape, now the C shape, would be 3, 5, 6, root 2, 3, 5, 6, root 2, 3, 5, stopping there. And then the A shape would be 5, 6, root 2, 3, 5, 6, root 2, 3, 5, 6. Okay, and finally the G shape there would be 6 root 2, 3, 5, 6, root 2, 3, 5, 6, root, and then the E shape again. Let's get back up to chart 547. Okay, here we are once again. It's all called the Rootmaster Blues. Let's look at this little diagram here. So I'm going to put me over here and we're going to look at this little diagram here. This is a blues magic circle. We have 3 keys here that are 1, 4, 5, and then we have a pentatonic shape above the root key of the Rootmaster Blues called the root key of the blues. We have 1 pentatonic shape above that. Now, all 4 of these pentatonic shapes are within the same cage in all 5 positions. So there's 5 positions with these 4 keys involved. Okay, so that's the way it works, and the way that I actually derive the blues master pent key, the BMMK key, was to take the root key of the blues, which is the regular old 1, 4, 5. Okay, that's the root key of the blues. And I took that root shape, which was a C shape. It happened to have been an A flat in reality. The only modal chords we're going to be involved with, aside from the concept of modal pentatonic advances and caged advances, is the minor chords. If we get that far to do some playing, that'll be fun. So happy summer to everybody. We have a new playlist here, and yesterday was Father's Day. So happy summer solstice and Father's Day to you guys, everyone. All right, we're back. So we have the blues magic circle, but we have more to discuss than it appears. I started with the root key of the blues, the 1, 4, 5. Okay, when we take the root key of the blues, now we're going to want to stay in the same cage, and we go up 1 pentatonic shape. So you know, as the shapes go, the C shape up 1 pentatonic shape would be the D shape. Okay, up 1 cage shape is down 1 pentatonic shape would be the A shape. So from the root key of the blues, if we go up 1 pentatonic shape, okay, we get to the blues master pent key. If we go 1 cage shape up, we get to the blues magic diatonic key. All right, so if this is a C, a cage shape, this would be the A shape, and the blues master pentatonic key would be the D. So we'll see a C there, an A there, and a D there. So let's find the root key of the blues here. We've kind of found our way into the chart here, and let's look at the C. Let's look at the cage here. So this is the cage we're involved with right here. Right here. Here's the C, the A, and the D. And then we have additionally another one. We call it the root Mixolydian blues key. This RMBK is a key such that its fifth is the root of the root key of the blues. So root key of the blues would be, okay, so it would be C shape. Notice it doesn't matter that I'm down tuned here, or we would play it up here. I prefer to play it down here for the lesson. Shape that matters. So we're going to shape fit the F, okay, because the fourth of the C shape is the E shape. And then we got the G shape. The root Mixolydian blues key is a key such that its fifth is the root key of the blues Ionian or 1 shape. So let's look at that root. Let's look at RMBK right here. We're going to play an E, an A, and a C there. Now obviously that E, we're going to shape fit it into the fourth there. So we're going to go E. Now let's look at the numbers. Let's look at our KB. We got a C shape. 5 root 3. 5 root 3. There's our C shape. Okay, its E shape is also an E shaped. It would be root 4 6 right there. E shaped action fingers root 4 6. And then G. So we know that 5 7 2. Right there, a root 5th chord. So it doesn't matter what the key is. Our RMBK fretboard, the root Mixolydian blues fretboard, if we're having trouble visualizing what the key is doing. Remember, the other keys we talked about, have a nice 1-4-5 relationship, but the RMBK, again, is the key such that its fifth is the root key of the blues. Now we have our RMBK key, the same situation, but I've changed the numbers down here to favor the RMBK. Okay, because to derive the root master key of the blues, let's look at what the actual notes are. Alright, so let's look note for note. The one thing to remember about this little table is that all note numbers are the same note. So if you have a root key of the blues, we have a root there. Alright? When you take that shape and you go up one pentatonic shape, the root becomes the 6th of that pentatonic key. Alright? When we go up one cage shape, the root becomes the 2nd of that pentatonic key. The root Mixolydian blues key, root master